Hi there and welcome to my channel once again, and this is going to be one of those food recipe cooking type videos, and today I'm going to show you how to make English crumpets my style. So this is going to be a little bit different because it's crumpets in 90 seconds, so a little bit different to those soup videos that I did a little while ago. First of all, I'm going to show you the ingredients because the ingredients are quite important, and there are some aspects that you need to know about some of the ingredients. So let's go over what we're going to use on this particular recipe. Okay, so we've got in front of us what we need, and first of all, we're going to use a large egg. I'm going to put the details of this up on the screen anyway for you, the actual recipe. But we've got one large egg here, a pinch of salt. We have some coconut flour, and it's a teaspoon of coconut flour. And we've also got a teaspoon of what's called psyllium husk, and I'll come back to that in a minute. We have a quarter of a teaspoon of baking powder. We have a teaspoon of cider vinegar, and we have a teaspoon of oil. I'm using olive oil, and this is basil infused, but you can use any type of oil, I think, that you like. Now, what we're going to make is something that resembles a crumpet, but it's kind of somewhere in between a crumpet and a savoury, I'd say a savoury scone. Now, as with everything that you might make, you need to be aware of the ingredients you're using, and of course, for some people, some of these you may have an allergy, or you may have a reaction to some of these things on here. I'm quite excited by this recipe because I'm diabetic. This really does suit me quite well. The thing about this recipe is there's hardly any carbohydrate. There's something like 1 gram of carbohydrate in this recipe. And what else have we got? We got 5 grams of fat, net carbs 1 gram, protein 4 grams, and the total calories is about 73. This yields, it says yields 2 crumpets. Well, it's kind of one crumpet that you cut in half, but it's 73 calories, so that's pretty low. So I just need to warn you about a couple of things on here. This is psyllium husk powder, this brown powder here. We're only using a teaspoon, but it's full of fiber. And of course, fiber can have an effect on some people. So just a warning about that. It can be used as a laxative, but don't be put off by that. We're using very, very small amounts. The thing about psyllium husk powder is that it adds that kind of gluten type kind of commodity to the recipe without actually adding gluten in. So this is basically gluten free as well. So would suit someone who's got an intolerance to gluten. So, but you have to understand that this powder here is full of fiber, and we've also got coconut flour here, of course, as well. So, you know, if you've got an allergy to coconut, then you shouldn't really be making this. So, and with all recipes, as I keep saying, you know, you need to check the ingredients before you make stuff, because well, I don't want to make anybody ill, but it is worth making this if you want to produce something that really is low in calories, and it doesn't have those carbohydrates, then this is great. So I'm quite excited by this, because it will help a few friends of mine that are diabetic as well, and gluten free, or need to be gluten free. So let's go through how to mix this all up. So I have a bowl here, and I'm going to put the ingredients into this and mix up. So first of all, we've got to put the egg in there, and we have to whisk this up, this egg, so that we get quite a head on it, a froth. So it says 1 large egg. Now I'm going to whisk this with my whisker, if that's the right word for it. So let's whisk this up. I guess what we're doing here is trying to get as much air into the egg mix. You could of course use a normal hand whisk, but this makes it a little bit easier. And it says that as you add each ingredient, you should whisk as well. Whisk each item in. So I'm just going to add the salt in. There goes the salt. A bit of a whisk. I'm going to add in the baking powder. There you go. A bit of a whisk. The vinegar and the oil is going in now. And we'll give that a whisk. I'm leaving the coconut powder and the psyllium till last, because as soon as you put that psyllium powder in, it's going to start to thicken up quite quickly. It kind of starts to, if you leave it too long, it will start to change into just a glutinous mass, and we need to get that mixed up very quickly and then into the microwave as soon as possible to cook. So I've mixed up all of the ingredients that kind of before I actually put the psyllium in. So let's put in the coconut flour and give that a whisk. And then we'll put in the psyllium. As soon as you do put in the psyllium, you can see through whisking it, it starts to thicken up. Right, I think that's it. So we've got all our ingredients. I've got a ramekin here. You could use a cup. It's kind of something that you need is something with a flat bottom. A ramekin like this is good. Pour your contents in. You can probably see as I pour that in that it's actually thickened up considerably, and I'm having to now scoop this out. Now we're going to microwave this. It doesn't need to be covered, it's just going to be microwaved like that, and we're going to microwave for 1 minute and a half, 1.5 minutes, and then we're going to check it to see if it's done or not. The last time I made this, I had to add another 10 seconds on, so I think I actually will put it in for 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's all dependent on your microwave and how powerful it is, the power of it, etc, etc. So I would suggest that you do it for 1 minute and 30 seconds and then check it, and if you need to, then do it for a further 10 seconds maybe. But the recommendations are a bit between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes. So let's put it in the microwave. So it's in the microwave now. I've set it for 1 minute 40 seconds, and what I'm going to get out now is a cooling tray to put the item on. So let me just do that and I'll be back. So I've got my cooling tray out ready to put the item on. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. Actually, I was supposed to actually grease the ramekin before I put the product in, the mixed product. I'm not sure how that's going to come out then. I may have a little bit of difficulty in easing it out of the ramekin, but let's hope it just comes out, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so here's the product. I'm now gonna, it's very hot, I'm going to tip it out. It seems to be okay. I think it's going to come out okay, but that ramekin is very, very hot. So let's hope I can shake this out. Yes, it's steaming away, it's done. It smells a little bit eggy, but it's certainly done. And now we've got to allow that to cool for a little while. So come back in a minute when it's cooled down a little bit and I'll show you what you need to do next. Okay, so it's had a few minutes to cool down. It's a little bit lopsided. I'm a little bit disappointed that it kind of isn't kind of like uniform all the way around. But we're now going to cut this in half with a sharp knife. It's quite spongy, and you can see that psyllium has actually contributed to kind of create that kind of elastic. If I squeeze it, you can see there it's kind of quite spongy. But what we're going to do now with these two halves is we're going to toast them under the grill. So I'm just going to put them under the grill as you would a normal crumpet, English crumpet, and toast these up. So let's do that then. Just whilst that's grilling under the grill, toasting, just a reminder about the psyllium husk. It comes in two types of variety really. I'm using the psyllium husk powder, and it does come in another version, just psyllium husk kind of ground, a much coarser version of psyllium. The product's readily available, I think, in the shops, but if you can't get it in the shops, then Amazon sell it. You can just order it on Amazon, and easily. There's many psyllium husk products on Amazon. I'm not plugging Amazon in any way, but you can get it through Amazon. So let's see now what these kind of crumpet scones look like, and I'm going to put some butter on them. Hopefully you can see them. There they are. Zoom in a little bit more. So they've just let's move the camera around until you can see them right. They've been toasted, and we're going to spread. Well, I haven't got any butter at the moment, but I've got my normal spread. But because they do feel like a crumpet, and they've got those small holes in, like a crumpet. So serve them warm, get some butter on there. Right, you could add all sorts of things onto these, and as I say, you know, you're not eating many calories, and there's no carbohydrate really here. So let's have a taste. Yum. Now let's try it with some cheese on. So as I said, it does feel like a savoury scone. So I've got a slice of English cheddar on there. Let's try that. Very nice. I'm enjoying this. It's very quick to make. A little bit of prep time there, and obviously you're cooking 90 seconds, 1 minute 40 maybe. Easy. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you can try it yourself, and well, get back to me if you've got any comments. Try it yourself, and I'll be back to you soon with maybe another recipe. Bye for now.